Hi everyone and welcome back to the Kin's Clay channel. So this video is going to be another day in my life vlog. Basically yesterday I dedicated the whole day to just making crystal dragons and making as many as I can because I have so many crystals to get through that it's kind of hard to store them. So I just spent the whole day getting through them, making as many crystal dragons as I can. I also had to pack some orders and take a trip to the post office and little bits like that. But let's just get straight into the video.
Here are all of the crystals that I've got ready to be made into dragons. As you can see, there is a lot. And then these are all of the dragons that I have in stock at the minute. All these guys are still available and I'm going to have even more at the end of this video, so I'm going to have to find somewhere to put them all. I'm pretty sure these ones are the ones that I've had the longest, and that really surprises me because they're one of my favourites, so I was tempted to keep this one because it's so cute. The dragons are so tiny. I have to admit that I did keep these two for myself. I couldn't get rid of them, they're so cute, and same with this orange one, but the rest of them are still for sale. Here I'm just going through all the crystals that I've got. I'm going to speed this up or we'll be here forever. These are some of the smaller pieces. I don't seem to use the smaller pieces as much as the bigger ones, so I'm going to try and use some small ones today. I just feel like with the bigger ones I can do more with them, if that makes sense. I've been eyeing up this Amazonite for so long, so I'm going to start off with this one. It's such a beautiful colour, and I have this gemstone effect clay that matches the colour of it pretty perfectly. So here is the little head that I made for the dragon. I also mixed in some white clay with it and some copper gold leaf just to give it some more texture, I guess. The crystal itself isn't one solid colour either, so I thought that would match it quite nicely. This is the finished dragon now, but because I used the gemstone clay, that will actually change colour in the oven, so once it's baked it will be a darker colour. I am sorry about the state of my nails too. I've always bit my nails, I'm trying to stop it. Next I'm picking this beautiful red jasper heart, which was actually a freebie that they gave me at the last market. Again, I'm using a gemstone clay, but this time it's rose gold, so this will change colour slightly as well in the oven, and I also mixed in some more of that copper gold leaf. I gave it these beautiful red eyes to match the deep red of the heart, and I really wanted this one to be a dragon on its back, like holding the heart with its arms and legs, and I think it turned out super cute. I love using gemstone clay for my dragons because it's so fun to see the difference in them before and after the oven. Then a parcel came, so I thought I would open it on camera and show you what I got. Anyone that knows me knows I love jewellery, and I've been ordering quite a few rings, so this is one of them that came today, and it's actually a crystal one, so this is a tiger's eye ring. I have a few tiger's eye pieces as well that we need to do today. As you can see, it's this beautiful brown crystal with like a golden shift. It's really pretty, it's one of my favourites. Obviously I had to pick a tiger's eye piece next, so I went with this little mini tower. And because this tower is so tiny and adorable, I decided to do the same kind of thing with the dragons. I was only going to do one originally, so this is its head. As you can see, it's absolutely tiny, probably smaller than my fingernail. But then I thought it'd be really fun to do two of them, both climbing up the tower on each side, and I think it turned out really cool. Dragons this size though are so fiddly to do, and they do take quite a while. Then I dusted them with some golden mica pigment to kind of match the gold in the actual crystal, and then these guys were all finished. I love tiny dragons, they're one of my favourites to do, even though they're so fiddly. I just love how they come out looking. This is another piece that I got at the last market. If you watched that video, this is a Mexican lace agate freeform. I was looking for what eyes I wanted for this dragon, and I found these, which were literally like exactly the same pattern as the crystal, so I knew I had to go with them. Because the pattern is so detailed on the crystal and in the eyes, I really wanted that to be the centerpiece of this dragon. So for the actual dragon itself, I just did a plain white and tried to keep it quite simple. This guy probably ended up being one of my favourites from today though, even though he's the most simple one. I just think it looks so like clean, and it makes the crystal really pop, which I love, because this crystal is gorgeous. Next up is this angelite tower. It's a gorgeous like pale blue kind of colour. I used another gemstone clay for this one because I knew I had one that was very similar in colour to it. This is another one that will get darker when it comes out of the oven. As you can see, I also kind of marbled it with some white clay to give it a stripy effect. Next I got out one of the tiny crystals. This is a little soda-like cube. I wanted to kind of mimic the pattern of the actual crystal, so I used some gemstone clay and I marbled it with some white too, so that we get those streaks of white through like there is on the crystal. Here's his little head. This one is another tiny one, like the brown ones, so it was quite fiddly. But again, this was definitely one of my favourites. Its little hand looks like it's waving. It's so cute. I am tempted to keep it, but I'm not going to. This one is a chunk of raw fluorite. Again, I used some gemstone clay and some white to create this marble effect, and I added in some copper gold leaf. This is what the head was looking like. I used green eyes to match the deep green colour of the crystal. This is him all finished. I really love how he came out. I like the copper leaf in all the dragons. I think I need to do that more. After this one, I took a little break and had some dinner, and then I had to start packing some orders. So here's a little time lapse of me packing those. These were mainly all orders of our animal worry stones, which are still the most popular thing on the shop. Then I took those down to the post office, and then I could get back to making more crystal dragons. I've been thinking for a while about how I would place a dragon on this amethyst chunk because it's so weirdly shaped, so I decided I was going to try and get that sorted. I used some white translucent clay for this, and then I mixed in different amounts of purple and then mixed that together, so I had a few different shades of purple. And because this is translucent, it will come out a different colour once it's been in the oven, so it'll be a slightly deeper purple. I managed to curl the dragon around the crystal like this, and I think it actually came out really cool. It sits on the crystal really nice. I bought this next crystal in the last video. It's a gold sandstone. It honestly is so sparkly, especially in the sun, so I wanted to use this clay that I know is really sparkly once it comes out of the oven. It's this rose gold clay, but once it's been baked, it will be a much deeper colour and it will be a lot more sparkly, so I thought that would be perfect for this. I knew I didn't have many rose quartz dragons in, so I decided to do one of those next. And I also wanted to use that sparkly pink from the last dragon in this one too, because I think it's so pretty. And I also marbled it with some rose gold clay, so this one will look really different once it's out of the oven too. I found that the blue dragons that I make sell a lot quicker than the rest usually, so I decided to make one of those. This is with a really nice piece of blue calcite, and it had a perfect little ledge on the back, you can see there, that I thought was super cute, so I put the dragon on that and then peering over the rest of the crystal. I think it's adorable. This will become a different, more translucent blue as well once it's cooked. I then moved on to this moss agate cube, and this was a really deep green, so I wanted to use a gemstone green and also mix it with some black so that it wasn't too bright and it kind of matched the vibe of the crystal. This guy was actually the last one for the day though, because at this point I'd made so many that my eyes were actually stinging and I'd completely filled up my oven tray, so I thought this would be a pretty good place to stop. These are them all before they go in the oven. Like I've said quite a few times, a lot of them will change colour when they've been baked, so that's really fun to see. You can see they're all quite light colours here, but when they come out they will have changed. And this is them all fresh out of the oven. You can really see the difference in a lot of these colours, especially that rose gold one. Now it's super sparkly and a lot darker, and I think that one is so pretty. It's one of my favourite clays. I decided that I wanted to add some little gems to some of them, so that's what I'm doing here. And then this is a little close-up of all the ones that I've added gems to. I just think sometimes it gives them that little bit extra and it looks really cool. And then I glazed them all, which takes forever, and I have to do this twice, so it's not a fun process, but they end up looking super cool when they're all glossy. Here I am struggling to hold them all, and then here are all the finished dragons out sat in the sun. You can really see here how gorgeous that gold sandstone looks when it's in the sun. It's so beautiful and it's so shimmery. After I'd done this, I had some tea and then I chilled out and played some games. So that is it for this video. All the dragons that you see here I'm gonna get on the shop tonight as this video comes out. So if you're interested in any of these, make sure you have a look at my Etsy shop later on today, or if you're fancying any of the dragons that I showed in the beginning of the video too, because they're still available. And that is it for me. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next video. Bye!